Without the modern amenities and the current population, 19th century Wyoming faced several virtually insurmountable obstacles. If it weren't for the resolve of the early settlers, things would have turned out drastically different.
It was always on fire, our house, our dreams. We were dancing on a wire, reckless it seemed.
Maintaining the fort's capabilities of protecting civilians at the time required men who were willing to go to great extremes. In contradiction to the established forts were Native American tribes who saw this expansion west as an encroachment of their territory. They were willing to fight and die to defend this territory. The greatest ride in history refers to the daring and grueling journey of John Portuguese Phillips in December 1866. This remarkable feat took place during the height of tensions between the U.S. Army and the Lakota, Cheyenne, and Arapaho tribes collectively resisting U.S. encroachment on their lands. On December 21, 1866, following the Fetterman Massacre near Fort Phil Kearny, Wyoming, where Captain William Fetterman and 80 soldiers were ambushed and killed, desperate measures were needed. The fort was left vulnerable, low on supplies, and cut off from communication. Commanders decided to send a messenger to Fort Laramie, 236 miles away, to request reinforcements and aid. John Portuguese Phillips, a civilian scout of Portuguese descent, volunteered for the perilous task. Mounted on a thoroughbred horse, Phillips braved treacherous winter conditions and the threat of hostile Native American forces along the way. The journey was grueling, with temperatures plunging far below freezing, deep snow, and limited provisions. Traveling mostly at night to avoid detection, Phillips rode nearly continuously, pushing both himself and his horse to the brink of exhaustion. After 4 harrowing days, on Christmas morning, Phillips arrived at Fort Laramie, battered but alive. He delivered the critical message, ensuring reinforcements and supplies would be sent to the beleaguered garrison at Fort Phil Kearny. Phillips' extraordinary ride has been immortalized as a testament to endurance, bravery, and determination. It stands as one of the most legendary acts of frontier heroism in American history, embodying the spirit of survival and sacrifice in a turbulent era. Unfortunately for the Native Americans, the expansion west was inevitable, especially with the discovery of gold in California in 1848 and the massive migration that occurred over the following years. The Pony Express, operational from April 1860 to October 1861, was a fast mail service that connected St. Joseph, Missouri to Sacramento, California, using a relay system of horseback riders. Though it lasted only 18 months, it became a legendary symbol of the American frontier and the drive for rapid westward expansion. The Express dramatically reduced communication time between East and West to about 10 days, an essential development on the eve of the Civil War. In southeastern Wyoming, the Pony Express route followed segments of the Oregon and overland trails, crossing wide plains and rugged terrain. Key relay stations, including Horse Creek Station near present-day Torrington and Pumpkin Vine Station, with Fort Laramie serving as nearby military and logistical support sites. Riders in this region faced extreme weather and occasional threats from Native American tribes. Despite its brief existence, the Pony Express showcased the growing demand for swift communication and set the stage for the transcontinental telegraph, which ultimately rendered it obsolete. Its legacy endures as a testament to American perseverance, ingenuity, and the spirit of the West. Register Cliff endures as a silent sentinel of America's westward expansion, a place where the ephemeral hopes of pioneers were etched into stone, becoming permanent witnesses to an era of profound transformation. From the 1840s through the 1860s, the cliff, located near Guernsey, Wyoming, served not only as a physical waypoint along the Oregon Trail, but as a cultural ledger, recording the names of individuals who took part in one of the greatest migrations in American history. As the era of overland migration waned from the advent of the Transcontinental Railroad, Register Cliff remained unaltered, its significance shifting from practical to symbolic. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, it attracted attention from historians, preservationists, and descendants of pioneers who recognized the cliff as more than a geological feature. It had become a monument to endurance, determination, and the American spirit of exploration. Throughout the 20th century and into today, Register Cliff has gained new layers of meaning. It is a site of education where school children and travelers alike can touch history, literally. It is a place of reflection where the carved names evoked the universality of human longing for legacy and remembrance. And crucially, it is a preserved artifact of national memory, managed to ensure that the voices of the 19th century trail remain legible to those of the 21st century. Thus, the continued significance of Register Cliff lies not only in its stone inscriptions, but in its enduring role as a touchstone for American identity, migration, and the desire to be remembered in a vast and changing land. Many dates, too, were placed on the rock after the decline of the Oregon Trail. Soldiers from Fort Laramie occasionally inscribed their names. Ranchers and cowboys also scratched their names into the rocks in the years of the Wyoming Territory and early statehood. Others since then have occasionally tried to join their historic predecessors by placing their names on the list. But there is more. To Native Americans, the marks on this cliff represented a different legacy, one of loss rather than an achievement. They also used this rock for inscribing their own marks, and at one time, some of the Indian pictographs and petroglyphs on the rocks were still visible. But like the land surrounding us that was once the hunting grounds of several Indian nations, those images have been lost in the flood of the white names on the rocks. The unfortunate consequence of the marginalization of the Native Americans and the use of the U.S. Army in the Indian Wars led to a dark time in U.S. history, culminating in the Native American reservation system.
Leaving this place, the sun's about to break. You're riding shotgun. Feeling with chase, I'm wide awake. Take me away now. 'Cause I won't go down the same old path again now. No, I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. Feeling I've got's making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy, making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive.
You're all the best, always.
Down to the underground old school. Here's a shovel. Can you dig it, fool?